So, students, today's topic is degree of inbreeding and its measurement. Okay. What is inbreeding? What is inbreeding? Who will say? What is inbreeding? Anybody?
So, mating of individuals which are closely related up to maximum 4 to 6 generations.
So, why it is restricted to 4 to 6 generations? Why not 2 generations? Why not 8 generations, 7 generations?
Sir, for the sake of homozygosity, sir, so that pure homozygosity can.
Further, sir, it may show inbreeding depression, maybe.
That is the reason. That is something else. I just want to know why we restricted the mating of individuals or the relatives up to 4 to 6 generations. Why not the individuals belong to the 7 generations will not be called relatives, or the persons belong to the 8 generations? Why they will not be called relatives? Why the meeting of those individuals belong to the 7 or 8 generations will not be called inbreeding? Is there any justification?
सर सबसे पहला तो रीजन इससे इनब्रीडिंग डिप्रेशन हो जाता है और वो जो डोमिनेंट एलील्स है या डोमिनेंट जीनोटाइप्स है
that is something different. That is something different. वो तो इनब्रीडिंग तो जितना इंटेंस होगा इनब्रीडिंग डिप्रेशन ज्यादा ही होगा. इनब्रीडिंग
सर लिथल जीन एक्सप्रेस कर जाएगा सर और लिथैलिटी कैरेक्टर भी एक्सप्रेस होगा सर की वजह से हम लोग 7 जनरेशन तक नहीं करवाते हैं.
Sir, actually,
after 6 generation, contribution of ancestral gene is less than 1%.
जी सर, अभी ठीक हो गया. अभी आ गया कॉलेज.
sir,
हाँ हाँ.
inbreeding में sir,
क्या करे, घर में अकेला मन नहीं लगता. ठीक हो गया तो नेगेटिव हो गया. जी सर. एकदम से बंद कर देना चाहिए. एकदम कोई नहीं आता है. 60 को टीचर है. हमको लगता है कि मुश्किल से 5-7 को आता है. बाकी कोई हाँ कुछ आदमी तो हो गया, कुछ आदमी डर से नहीं आ रहा है. जी सर. सर इधर सुने, मेवल चौधरी साहब गुजर गए हैं कोरोना. मेवल चौधरी साहब, हाँ उठा देखिए, स्ट्रॉन्ग आदमी है. कैसे चला गया वो, चला गया. हमारा रांची भेटरी कॉलेज का भूतपूर्व डीन थे संत बाबू चला गया. संत बाबू इसका जी सर. हाँ सर. इस बार और ज्यादा खतरनाक हो गया पहली बार से. नहीं, हाँ 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 वो तो ही है सर. यूनिवर्सिटी बंद करना चाहिए यूनिवर्सिटी. यस सर. ये सब बहुत डरते हैं. अच्छा ही है. जी सर. जी जी जी. हाँ सर. जी सर. लेके जाना था ना सर. वो तो मैं मैदान था 20 तारीख को, तो जा नहीं पाए. दिल्ली में लॉकडाउन हो गया. तो रूटीन वर्क है जो हर साल एक बार जाना पड़ता है आपका इसके लिए, और थोड़ा सा दिक्कत भी हो रहा है, नहीं थोड़ा सा दिक्कत भी हो रहा है ना, कोई पैर पैर पर सूजन आ रहा है, थोड़ा सा चलने में कभी कोई दिक्कत होता है, इसलिए सोच रहे कि एक बार जाएंगे, जा नहीं पाए, जाने का प्रश्न नहीं है सर। ठीक सर, हाँ। ठीक है स्टूडेंट्स, सो could not be answered why it is restricted up to 4 to 6 generations, because every individual transmits its half of the genetic material. That means transmission of heredity is a halving process. Transmission of heredity is a halving process. So individual which is present in the father and offspring दोनों के बीच में कितना distance है in terms of generation, एक जनरेशन है ना, एक जनरेशन फादर एंड ऑफस्प्रिंग के बीच में, मतलब पेरेंट्स एंड ऑफस्प्रिंग के बीच में डिस्टेंस कितना है, एक जनरेशन का दूरी है. दैट मींस genetic material will be halved, that is half to the power 1. If there are two generations, that means an individual with its grandparent is related by or received 1/4 of the genetic material, that is half to the power 2. ठीक है, half to the 2. Then individual present in the 6th generation will be halved 6 times. That means to getting down the genetic material of the ancestor present in the 6th generations to the individual, to the descendant present in the 6th generations, that genetic material of the ancestor will be halved 6 times. That is half to the power 6, up to the 6, and this half to the 6 is equal to almost there is 1%, 1.0 or something less, something about. But the if the ancestor is present in 7th generations, his genetic material when coming down to the descendants of the 7th generation, descendant of 7th generation, it will be halved by 7 times. That means half to the 7, half to the 7 is less than 1%. That means when, for the sake of argument, we can say yes, the persons which are present in the 7th generations, they are also related with the descendant, but that relationship is less than 1%. That's why it is not considered that when it is less than 1%, so that is almost negligible. That's why it is not considered, and only up to 6 generations is considered. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. There is one line, sir, in your PPT that means inbreeding combined with selection over a period of times result into development of new species. This also could be answered.
In continuation to this inbreeding, there is another topic, that is relationship and relationship official. Relationship, what kinds of relations are there? There are two kinds of relationship I have told. That is one is direct relationship or direct relatives, and other is the collateral relatives or collateral relationship. That is one individual is directly related to its parent, grandparent, great grandparent, great grandparent, like this in one line, and that is called direct. And these are called, all these are called direct relatives. And another kind of relationship is the not indirect, that is called collateral relationship, and the collateral relatives, that is full sheaves, half sheaves, or the cousin brothers sisters, all are these relationships. These are called collateral relatives. That means that these two individuals in individuals in questions, they are related to each other not directly through or via the common ancestor. Clear? So when the distance between the two individuals is less than is 6 generations, or the more, or the 7 generations, or the more than 7 generations, we can say they are for the sake of argument they are relatives, but for the sake of science we can say they are not relatives. Clear? चलो आगे तो देखेंगे. और now this how this that what is the effect of inbreeding? So inbreeding increases the homozygosity, है ना. So when the two heterozygotes are crossed, that is F1 is crossed with another F1, capital T small t and capital T small t, the moment it will be cost. So in the F2 generations, in the what will be happens, that is 1/4 that is heterozygosity will be divided. That is 1/4 will be homozygous dominant, 1/4 will be homozygous recessive, and 1/4 दोनों मिला के कितना हो जाएगा? 50% will be homozygous, and another 50% still remain as the heterozygous. So that means heterozygous populations will be divided into three populations: homozygous dominant, homozygous recessive, and heterozygous. So that means now the proportion of heterozygous is reduced and proportion of the homozygous or homozygosity is increased. And that kitne increase हो रहा है homozygosity for a given locus, that is expressed as the degree of inbreeding, and that degree of inbreeding is measured with the help of the inbreeding coefficient. Now, the degree of inbreeding is the extent to which an individual carry the genes identical by descent, is the degree of inbreeding or intensity of inbreeding. So here is one term I am coming in detail. So that is genes identical by descent. Descent, who is descendant? I have said descendant, the ancestor. Ancestor means the person who is transmitting its genetic material downwards towards the to the descendant. Okay, na? And the descendant, who is descendant? The individual who receives its genetic material from the ancestor, that is called descendant. So that genetic material is always descend from top to the bottom. So that means that the individual which carry the genes identical by descent, that the genes जो आते हैं पूर्वजों से, the ancestor से, that type of if the homozygosity occurs due to that transmission of genes from the ancestor, that is called genes identical by descent, and that is it expresses the degree of inbreeding or intensity of inbreeding. So the degree of inbreeding of an individual depends upon the degree of relationship between the parents of the inbred individual. Yes, this is an important point because how much the intensity of inbreeding or how much intensity of the homozygosity will be there among the inbred individual, that certainly depends upon their parents. If the parents are distantly related, means if they are the relationship, they are away from the fourth generation, five generations of the five generations, then naturally their relationship will be very less. And if they are full ships, naturally their relationship ज़्यादा है. If they are half ships, relationship is less than the full ships. So naturally the commonness of the genes will be less in case of half ships than the full ships. So if in case of full mating, the offsprings will have the more homozygosity than the inbred individual produced by the half mating. That we have also seen, and today we shall see how to measure the inbreeding coefficient. And the degree of inbreeding of an individual depends upon the degree of relationship between the parents. Okay, so and this is measured with the help of the degree of inbreeding is measured with the help of the inbreeding coefficient. And Professor Sewell Wright by S. Wright, WRIGHT, 1921, proposed the method to measure the degree of inbreeding or intensity of inbreeding, which is called as the coefficient of inbreeding. Okay? That coefficient of inbreeding is denoted by capital F. Okay? Coefficient of inbreeding is denoted by capital F. Coefficient of inbreeding means how much that how much of the total loci of an individuals are homozygous. That is expressed by the inbreeding coefficient. So what is inbreeding coefficient? So it represents the probable increase of homozygosity in offsprings resulting from the mating of individuals which are more closely related than the average relationship of the population concerned. Because in a population there are varieties of relatives are there. If they are even relatives, so naturally there is every possibility of increase in homozygosity in the inbred individuals. If there are more relatives, more closely related, so that chances of homozygosity to be increased in most of the loci. If they are the less closely related, chances of homozygosity in the in the inbred individual will be less. If they are not, parents are not related, so there is no question of homozygosity among the progeny. So now this can be, so it is expressed in terms of the probability. It is expressed, that is increase homozygosity is expressed in terms of probability. Now, what is the definition of inbreeding? So inbreeding coefficient, inbreeding coefficient is the probability that the two alleles, listen clearly, inbreeding coefficient is the probability that the two alleles at a given locus of an individual are identical by descent. Descent means ऊपर से नीचे आना, उद्देश्य को इसको descent बोलते हैं. That means common ancestor से जीन्स नीचे जो descendant है उस पे आ रहा है, दो inbred individual. So दोनों कैसे होमोजाइगस होगा, that is उसका जो probability कितना है, that probability indicated expressed the coefficient of inbreeding. So देखो now again I am telling, inbreeding coefficient is the probability that the two alleles at a given locus of an individual are identical by descent. Say for example, the parents, the ancestor is heterozygous. Say for example, there are two alleles at a given locus A, that alleles are the A1 and A2. So the parent is, the common ancestor is heterozygous, A1 and A2. Clear? Now the inbred individual, that common ancestor will transmit its half of the genetic material to the inbred individual through the parent of the inbred individual, and another half will be transmitted through the another parent, that is एक father के through transmit करेगा, एक mother के through transmit करेगा. That means किसके father mother, जो inbred individual है, inbred individual का father mother से father will transmit half of the gamete and one gamete, and male gamete, and mother will transmit the female gamete. So दोनों gamete मिलके fertilization होगा, that will constitute the genotype of the inbred offspring. So now if that is A1 is being transmitted from the father as well as mother, then inbred individual will be homozygous for A1. If the father and mother transmitted the A2 genes of the common ancestor, then inbred individual will be homozygous for A2. Clear? The inbred individual will be homozygous under the conditions when the inbred individual having similar genes or similar alleles at a given locus. Either A1 होगा तब भी homozygous बोलेंगे, और A2 होगा तभी हम homozygous बोलेंगे. And दोनों genes कहाँ से आ रहा है? ऊपर से आ रहा है, that is common ancestor से आ रहा है. It is descending from the top to the inbred individual through the parents of the inbred individual. So that is called genes are identical by descent. Because the identical by descent, a homozygosity may arise due to some other reason also. That's why it is telling that is without inbreeding, the homozygosity may also arise. Under what conditions? You see that homozygosity of allelic genes at a locus may occur from two sources, that is due to genes alike in state and due to genes identical by descent. Due to genes alike in state, इसका क्या मतलब है? Genes alike in state का मतलब है that दोनों, एक suppose एक इंडिविजुअल है, उसका गिवन लोकस में दो एलील है, एक है A1 and A2. नाउ किसी भी टाइम पे आपको म्यूटेशन हो गया, A1 is muted to A2 होता है, तब दोनों तो लोकस में क्या हो जाएगा? A2 हो जाएगा. तो under such conditions the individual will be called homozygous. Either A2 is reverse mutation होता है, A2 is transmitted to A1, then the individual will be homozygous for A1. So this is one condition, that is homozygosity may arise due to state or due to mutation. This is called genes alike in state. And another condition is that marriage takes place between the two unrelated individuals, the male and female, boys and girls, but that offspring क्या होगा? Offspring भी sometimes भी homozygous हो सकता है, though the parents are not relatives. But these conditions, it says that the two similar genes are coming at random from the population, and so these are the two conditions. There is this by which the homozygosity may also arise, but these two conditions are not belong to the genes homozygosity due to descendant. ठीक है ना? So these called genes alike in state. And genes alike in identical by descent का क्या मतलब है? Genes identical by descent का मतलब है it means two allelic genes at a given locus of an individual have been originated due to replication of the one and the same gene from the previous generation. That means, as I have said, given an example, that is the ancestor is heterozygous, which is having the A1 and A2 genes at a given locus, and if the descendant, that means if inbred individual is A1, it means that same gene of the common ancestor, that is A1 gene, is replicated, and one A1 gene is transmitted to the father of the inbred individual. Another A1 gene is transmitted to the inbred individual through its mother. That means, but it is the replication of the same genes which is present in the common ancestor. Clear? So this is called genes identical by descent. It means two allelic genes at a given locus of an individual, that means inbred individual, have been originated due to replication of the only one and the same gene from the previous generation. Am I clear? Students? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
हाँ?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, दो कंडीशन हो सकता है होमोजेगसिटी के लिए. एक तो हो गया जो रिलेटिव्स मीटिंग के चलते हो रहा है, दैट मींस सेम जीन ऑफ द कॉमन एंसेस्टर का या रेप्लिकेशन के द्वारा
Yes, sir. और
मल्टीप्लाई हो
दूसरा
रहा है.
म्यूटेशन.
It is being transmitted to the inbred individual through the parent of the inbred individual. ठीक है ना? That is called genes identical by descent. And another condition कैसे हो सकता है? कोई म्यूटेशन हो गया तो दो सेम जीन हो गया, और नहीं तो जब दोनों बाई रैंडम मीटिंग दो जीन्स आ रहा है फ्रॉम द पॉपुलेशन, that condition may also lead to the homozygosity. But we are not interested to that condition. We are interested for the genes identical by descent. So let's say here, and the individual which carrying the genes identical by descent at a given locus is called autozygote. So that inbred individual which is become the homozygous due to genes identical by descent, that individual is called autozygote or called identical homozygote. Autozygote or identical homozygote. This is the inbred individual which receives the same genes from the common ancestor by identical by descent, and this condition is known as autozygous. Clear? So ये term कभी-कभी आता है एग्जाम में. Now the concept of quantify inbreeding coefficient. अब inbreeding coefficient कैसे हम quantify करेंगे? कितना inbreeding coefficient हो गया? Because it is inbreeding coefficient is expressed as the probability that the two alleles at a given locus of an inbred individual are identical by descent. So that is called the inbreeding coefficient. How the inbreeding coefficient is to be quantified? They consider the following pedigree of submitting. अब दिख रहा है ना? Hello, students. आपको दिख रहा है? So
Yes, sir. PP.
Concept of quantify inbreeding coefficient F, because inbreeding coefficient is denoted by F. अपग्रेड हो गया. ठीक है, अब आप लोग रुकिएगा. So हम इसको आगे कंटिन्यू करेंगे. So now the consider the following pedigree of submitting. That is A. A is a common ancestor. Here A is a common ancestor. His genetic makeup is A1, A2, and B and C. You see, B and C are the half sheaves, and as I've said, the direction of the arrow indicates the flow of genes. That genes are being transmitted from A to B, A to C. So B and C are the half sheaves, or you can say they are the progeny of A. Now B and C are mated together to produce the offsprings X. So X क्या है? X क्या है? X हो गया एक inbred individual, because it is originated due to mating of the two relatives and their half sheaves. ठीक है ना? Now question comes, how the X become homozygous? That is X का genetic condition क्या हो सकता है? X का, that is here you see the common ancestor, genetic makeup of common ancestor for a given locus is A1, A2. So if it is A1, if ancestor is transmitted A1 through B to X, and also it transmitted A1 through C to X, then X will be A1. So we can say X will be homozygous. If A is transmitted, that is common ancestor is transmitted A2 genes through B as well as C, so X will be homozygous for A2. So either A1 or A2 होगा, तो X will be called homozygous or the autozygote. and other conditions क्या होगा, if A1 is A is transmitted A1 genes through B to X and also transmitted A2 genes through C to X, then under such condition क्या होगा, it will be either A1 A2 or A2 A1. So that means heterozygous, but that is when homozygous hoga, then we can say it is becomes the homozygosity arises, and homozygosity as you know, it may be for the dominant alleles or homozygosity for the recessive alleles भी होता है. So the probability that X is homozygous for A1 A1, हाँ, अब कैसे होगा देखो, now that A1 genes is transmitted, as I have said, that is transmission of heredity is a having process. So when A1 is transmitted from common ancestor to B, कितना होगा, half, ठीक है ना, and half हो गया, then again same genes will be transmitted by B to X, so again it will be half. So every individual is transmitted half of its genetic material. So what will be the probability that that X receives A1 from common ancestor A through the B? That is half into
1/4.
1/4. Similarly,
Yes, sir.
similarly, A will transmit the same genes, that is A1 through C, that is A to C half हो जाएगा, so C to X half हो जाएगा, half into half हो जाएगा 1/4.
1/4.
ठीक है ना,
Yes,
Then
sir.
इस पद से आ
Yes,
रहा है
sir.
1/4, इस पद से आ रहा है 1/4, that is 1/4 इधर से 1/4. Now what is the probability that X will be homozygous for A1 A1? That is
1/4 into 1/4.
1/4 will be
Yes,
1/16. Similarly,
Yes, sir.
X2 will be homozygous, will be called homozygous when it will be A2 A2. So again, the probability that the X will be homozygous for A2 A2, again it will be 1/4 into 1/4 will be 1/16. Now what will be the probability that X will be either A1 A1 or A2 A2? So when either or रहेगा, then it will be then the probability of both the will be added. So probability that X is homozygous for A1 A1 is 1/16. Probability that the X is homozygous for A2 A2 is also 1/16. So the probability that the X is either A1 A1 or A2 A2 is 2 into 1/16 is equal to 1/8 is equal to 0.125. And also an individual produced by Hapsim mating, its inbreeding coefficient will be 12.5, 0.125, or you can say it is 12.5%. So that's probably
Sir. And sir, if simply they asked like probability of homozygous of A1 A1, then it answer will be only 1/16 now.
नहीं नहीं वैसे नहीं कोई पूछेगा, कोई आता नहीं है, दैट होगा तो X इज होमोजाइगस. सो X इज होमोजाइगस. अब तो नहीं ना दिख रहा, जीन तो नहीं दिखता नहीं है, A1 से हो रहा है कि A2 हो रहा है.
Yes, sir. X is homozygous.
It will be homozygous. So what will be the probability that X will be homozygous? The probability that the X will be homozygous when X is produced by Hapsim mating, then its probability is 0.125, or in terms of percentage we can say 12.5%. Now what is the meaning that inbreeding coefficient F is 0.125 or 12.5%? It means that 12.5% of the total loci of the inbred individual X is homozygous. इसमें अगर लाखों अगर लोसाई है, 1 लाख लोसाई उसका से, then 12.5% of the total loci of that individual X are homozygous. Clear?
12,500. Yes, sir.
So the properties of inbreeding coefficient. So inbreeding coefficient ranges from 0 to 1 in terms of proportion, or the in terms of percentage it is 0 to 100%. As the value of F increases, the relative proportion of homozygous decreases, which is represented by 1 minus F. Actually F बढ़ेगा तो 1 minus F घटेगा. So this 1 minus F is known as parametric index, because 1 minus F क्या हो गया? It is heterozygous हो गया. So that is called parametric index. Who is given the term conmixia or conmix? Hardy-Weinberg law में है ना, जो Weinberg, the Weinberg has given the term conmixia or conmictic population. That is heterozygous population. Methods for calculation of inbreeding coefficient. So that I have shown you that how inbreeding coefficient is determined. What is the basic principle? This is the principle that I have given. our concept. Now here that is properties of inbreeding coefficient. And now the methods to estimate the inbreeding coefficient. Now there are several methods. That is this method is known as path coefficient method, because the genes are being flowed through the different path. That is genes A1 is flowing to X through B. Genes flowing A1 is flowing to X through the C. So that means these are the two different paths. So arrow indicated the path. So that's why this is all known as path coefficient method. This path coefficient method was given by Sewell Wright in 1921. There is another method which is known as Cohen-Cestui method. It was developed by Melcott in 1948. And there is another method known as variance coefficient method, which is derived from the path coefficient method. The three methods are there for estimation of the inbreeding coefficient of the inbred individual. आप सब रुकिएगा, हम अभी खत्म हो जाएगा तो तुरंत हम आपको कनेक्शन कर देंगे. Now the principles for estimation of inbreeding coefficient, and that is the concept. Now the method, that what is the method of the formula given by Sewell Wright? That is computation formula was proposed by Sewell Wright for computation of inbreeding coefficient f of an inbred individual X is as follows. That is, it is inbreeding coefficient of an individual X is denoted as fx, f subscript x. It is the way of writing. That is fx. Fx is equal to summation half to the power n1 plus n2 plus 1 plus half to the power n1 plus n2 plus 1 into fa. That means actually this is the portion that is half to summation half to the power n1 plus n2 plus 1. And if fa इसमें बहुत सारे जो effects क्या है, fx is said as the inbreeding coefficient of the inbred individual X, and n1 क्या है, n1 is the distance in terms of the generation from the parents of the inbred individual to the common ancestor. You see here is denoted as n1. n1 कहाँ से कहाँ तक है, b to a, or you can say a to b is n1, a to c is n2. ठीक है ना? It is not we have not shown that is from X to A. It is denoted only n1 is the number of generations from one parent to the common ancestor, and n2 is the number of generations from another individual to the common ancestor. Hello. हाँ, रिजल्ट हम भेज दिए, क्या नाम है, पब्लिकेशन के लिए. वो 1-2 दिन में आपका साइट पर आ जाएगा. कोई टेंशन मत लो, सब लोग पास है. ठीक है, तो दिस इज दैट मीन्स